Go.
I'm not going to stand up to show pride in the flag for a country that oppresses black people and people of color. To me, this is bigger than football. And it would be selfish on my part to look the other way. There are bodies in the street, and people getting paid leave, and people getting away with murder. Colin Kaepernick told NFL reporter Steve Wyche after a game in 2016. How many of you know who Colin Kaepernick is? Okay, for any of you that don't know who Colin Kaepernick is, or who do know who he is, I'm going to briefly remind you that he's a former quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. And Kaepernick has been receiving a lot of attention after he kneeled during the national anthem. Other athletes have followed his actions. Kaepernick kneeling during the national anthem is an example of athletes protesting. This is a significant issue in today's society because it has caused so much tension between politicians and athletes, such as Donald Trump. Donald Trump has made multiple comments since 2016. He expresses through Twitter, rallies, interviews that this is disrespectful to our heritage and it's disrespectful to our fallen soldiers. He, along with others, believe that anyone that does kneel during the national anthem should be put out this country. On May 24, 2018, Pierre Lockhart tells us President Trump has made these multiple comments. Trump also criticizes Nike for teaming up with Kaepernick on one of their latest Just Do It ad for the 30th anniversary. However, Nike has ran a similar advertisement in the 1990s with women empowerment. In the next few minutes, I will inform you on the history of athletes protesting. The United States have a long history of athletes protesting for equality and against social issues. Ahead are a few of the most significant examples. Let's start with Muhammad Ali. How many of you know Muhammad Ali because of boxing? Well, Muhammad Ali is a boxer, but he is also known for being socially active. He is a well-known social activist, and while he is a heavyweight champion, he also spoke freely on what he believed. He openly talked about the mistreatment of African Americans and the discrimination. That is why he refused to go to the Vietnam War. In 1966, he was drafted for the military service. He applied for a consensuous objector exemption, which meant that due to his religious beliefs, he didn't agree with fighting in the war. Marty Letterman tells us in a SCOTUS blog in 2016 that the local draft board rejected his claim, and he appealed to the Kentucky State Appeal Board. Through all the trials and the denial, Ali still refused in 1976 to go to the induction, causing him to be stripped of his boxing license and his championship. He was also prosecuted. Muhammad Ali protest was one of the earliest, along with Tommie Smith and John Carlos. Tommie Smith and John Carlos are two African American athletes that are well known for their political protests in 1968. They decided to make their statement during the Summer Olympics in 1968 during the medal ceremony. After winning gold and bronze, Tommie Smith and John Carlos stood on the podium, signified Black Power raised their fists to signify Black Power. A couple days later, these two athletes returned to the United States and received a lot of criticism and a lot of death threats. They were suspended off the track team. My last example is similar to Colin Kaepernick. In 1966, the NBA, Mohamed Abdul-Rauf for refusal to stand during the national anthem. Due to his Muslim faith, he said he wasn't going to stand for a country that supported oppression and racism. The NBA did, however, make a compromise after he was fined $32,000. Mohamed Abdul-Rauf told SB Nation in August 2018 that there are so much things that education doesn't teach us. And this is why it leads to oppression. And oppression makes him feel like he has to constantly fight back. To conclude, there's a long history of athletes using sports to promote political movements. Athletes such as Muhammad Ali, a heavyweight champion, who was stripped of his title because of refusal to go to war. Tommy Smith and John Carlos, two African Americans who are Olympians and suspended off the track team for raising their fist during the national anthem. And Muhammad Abdul Rauf, who refused to stand during the national anthem because of his beliefs. After years of athletes protesting, there is still an immense divide between politicians and athletes. There is no telling when athletes will stop protesting, but hopefully after this speech you have got a sense of when it all started.